In section 1.7, we asked you to get familiar with your graphing calculator. So make sure you know how to do all the things that we talked about in section 1.7 and the things you did on the 1.7 worksheet. This particular problem says graph the function on your calculator, adjust the window settings so that the horizontal and vertical intercepts and any turns that appear in the graph are visible. So we just want to make sure that you know how to adjust the window on your calculator. You're going to do a lot of work with this calculator in the next 3 modules, and we want to make sure that when you put a graph on that you know about some important points on the graph, like horizontal and vertical intercepts and turns in the graph, and that you know how to move your window around so that you can see the things you need to see. So the first thing we're going to do is put our function in. So y equals 2x squared minus 13x plus 8. So that looks good. Now we're going to go to graph it. And when we graph that, we can sort of see this where it hits the vertical axis. We can see the 2 places where it hits the horizontal axis, but you can see how it looks like there's a turn in the graph down below where we can't see it. So I'm going to, and we've got a lot of wasted space off on the left. So to fix that, I'm going to take my x min and change it to -1. I'm going to make my x max slightly bigger because I felt like I couldn't quite see where it was, where it crossed the vertical axis. And then, wait a minute, that's wrong. That is y max that I want to change, not the x max. So the y min I need to change because that was where I couldn't see the bottom of the graph where it turned. So I'm going to try, let's do -18, see what that does. And then y max was the one I actually wanted to increase a little bit because I want to make sure I'm seeing the place where it intercepts the vertical axis. So I'm going to try that and see how that works. So now I'm going to go back to the graph, make sure I can see all the things I want. I can see the curve at the bottom. I can see where it intercepts the horizontal axis in 2 places and where it intercepts the vertical axis. So that's a pretty good window. And so then when we ask you to give the window settings, all we're doing is checking to see that you knew how to set it right. And so those would be your window settings for that graph.